Ladies, you have to be absolutely crazy, literally delulu, to date a guy that has a baby mom. Because I'm going to tell you 110% that he is still not over that woman.
I really don't see any circumstance where a woman who's under 30 who has no kids should date a guy who has kids. It just never seems to be beneficial for the woman in any way.
I don't know how y'all do it. I am not dating a man that has children. I absolutely will not. Once I find out you have kids, you're immediately unattractive to me. And I'm not kidding. And I'm not exaggerating. Immediately a light switches for me.
All right, hey y'all. Today's video, we're going to talk about why you shouldn't date men with kids, especially if you are a childless woman. Just the dangers. Of course, do what you want to do at the end of the day. If you want to date a man with kids, that is your prerogative. I'm just going to teach you about the dangers today. Most of the time, especially if that child is under the age of 4, if that child is under the age of 4, he's most likely going to go back to his baby mama, especially like when he's dropping off the kids dropping off to there. It could be easy. Oh, just spend a night. You know what I mean? And then they end up doing it. Most of the time, that's really what happened. I'm not saying that all baby mamas get back with their baby daddies, but most of the time, that's what be happening if the child is young. Number 2, you are a rebound. You're just a rebound. A lot of the times, he just trying to one up the baby mama to make the baby mama jealous. Oh, I got a new girl now. And the baby mama, most of the time, she can have that baby daddy anytime they want because they had a child together. Like, that's half of them, half of that other person. A lot of people, they want to keep their family together, so they will dip back. And of course, you ain't never going to be a priority. You might want to move to North Carolina. You might want to move to Cali. You might want to move to New York. That lady live in Virginia. You cannot move out of. She didn't want her man to move out. I mean, she don't want her baby daddy to move out because I ain't gonna say you're a bad parent, but if the child is young, why would you want to be in a different state from your child? That's kind of always found that kind of weird to me. And I got a whole bunch of other reasons, but I don't want to keep the intro too long. So let's get into the video. Obviously, this is just my personal opinion. This is not to be taken as like serious. It's just a personal opinion. Me talking to my internet homegirls and homeboys. You can do whatever you want to do. Look, if you ain't got no kids and you want to date somebody with kids, do it. It makes me know, never mind.
A woman in your early 20s, late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, hell, in your 40s, and you are childless, don't you date no man with no mother kids. You hear me? I tell this to my best friend all the time. Let me tell you something. A woman without kids is a flex. You are the prime cut of steak, okay? You are the center cut steak, the juiciest, most tender part. Don't you settle for a man with no mother kids. You hear what I'm telling you? And I get it. The pickings are slim. They're slim. They are. But if you do settle, and I'm gonna always say settle, for a man with kids, and you don't have kids, you better make sure that he treats you right and understands the value of what he holds in his hand. And as soon as that nigga asks, you better book it. You hear me? Okay. Another thing. If he does happen to have a child, because even I say, and I have one child, I have a daughter, I ain't dating no man with more than one kid, and I ain't dating no man with no kid that's under the age of 5. Because why aren't you and the mama together? And what was I gonna say? Oh, make sure he treating you right. Okay? And make sure he ensures that you are comfortable with the dynamic between he and the mother of his kids.
When you are a child-free woman and dating a man with kids, and a lot of time we do it because it's like, oh, well, it's not that many guys that don't have kids. I don't care. I don't mind being single. If it can't up being single and having to date a man with kids, I'ma just have to take that singleness. And for me, it's not even that I can't date or I don't want to date a man with kids. I can't date a man with kids, like, because it's just like I'm very like, you got to be all about me. And when you have kids, you ain't gonna be the priority. I was telling y'all in the beginning. Obviously, that's true. You can't be the priority. Say you want to go out on a date with this guy, right? But his daughter got a dance recital, or just say you had a date, but now the child get hurt, or the mom might have to do something at the last minute. Now he got to cancel date on you because he got to babysit his child. And then, like, if he's a good dad, he should not be inviting you to meet his kids. Like I said, within like 6 months. Dads do that too. A lot of people don't talk about that. A lot of people just talk about baby mamas and how baby mamas be introducing them people to their kids all early. I have met some guys. Cause I'm gonna say this. I won't seriously date a man with kids. I won't date him even casually at all right now. But when I was younger, I would date a man like just okay, this is gonna be something fun. Da, 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 da. Let me do this. But when I did that, guys with kids, I'm talking about less than like 2 weeks. Let me meet their kids. I don't think that's right. And then if they're not active or as active as the woman might think he should be, then it's gonna be some problems when she find out he got a new girl and taking a new girl out on dates, and he ain't even taking care of his kids like that. Ooh, excuse me. He ain't even taking care of his kids like that. And every guy that I have ever talked to that had kids, like I said, it's always been like casually or whatever, like just something fun. I could never be in a serious relationship with one. But I always tell them I don't date men with kids, but that's what I'm saying. They don't be listening. Like, I don't date men with kids. Like, this one guy was even like, and this is the lowest of the low. So like, I daggone sure, if I was to date a guy with kids, I daggone sure don't want to date no absent father. You know what I mean? Because I don't plan on having kids. That's not really my desire. But you never know what the future might hold. But this one guy talking about something. I don't even see my kids like that. Baby, that just make it worse.
I don't see any circumstance where a woman who's under 30 who has no kids should date a guy who has kids. It just never seems to be beneficial for the woman in any way. There's just a whole lot of baggage that comes with it. It just seems like you're consciously choosing a harder life. Like, when I would think about if I were to end up with somebody with kids long term, I think about everything. Like, we're going to have to divvy up our assets eventually to share with your kids who aren't my kids. Like, that's a huge factor. There's going to be times where you are going to have to put that child first over your significant other. And of course, that would be fine if it was our kid, but it's not. So that would be tough. Some people are built to be step parents, I guess, but I just don't think that you should consciously choose that if you have an option not to.
And men with no kids, they know that you the preference. So like I think I said this earlier in the video. Anytime I tell a man I don't have kids and like they have kids, oh my gosh, that's so good. Da, da, da. And you would think they don't have no kids, but they have kids. And it's like, well, shit, what am I getting out of this? You know what I mean? Because it's like when you date somebody with kids, obviously they're gonna come with baggage. Sometimes, like I said, they don't let their ex go. Sometimes they'll still have pictures or like videos of them like on social media and stuff like that. And it's like, I can't do none of that. I can't go inside my ex house. I can't go to my ex house on the holidays. So like, what am I really getting out of this? Then on top of that, say if the kids are like grown, they'll be starting drama because a lot of kids, kids don't want their family to break up and stuff like that. So they'll start starting drama with the new person because they want their mama and their daddy to get back together. Or sometimes the mama will actually be feeding them information to make you break up and just have drama in y'all relationship because she actually wants to be back with the man. And you never want to date someone who will be talking down on their baby mama, like, oh, I hate my baby mama. I hate when I hear men say this. I hate my baby mama. Da, 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 da. I don't even care if it's just like a platonic friend. Like, why you hate your baby mama? Like, that's a red flag. If anything, you want them to feel indifferent. Like, oh, she okay or whatever. She cool. You know what I mean? You don't want them to be too excited, but you definitely don't. You rather them be excited than to have hate in their heart. I feel like if they got hate in their heart, they still got feelings for them.
I don't date men with kids. I have a couple different issues with it. The first one is if you're a good parent, you're probably spending a significant amount of time with your kids. You're going to school plays, baseball games, recitals. And in that situation, it's nonsensical and rude of me to expect any sort of priority in your life. And I've taken the backseat in enough relationships. It's time I'm with someone who's all about me. And if you're not a good parent and you have kids, but somehow you're never with them, why would I want you? And honestly, I don't think that mindset is selfish at all. What's selfish is dating a man and constantly trying to pull him away from his kids so that he can be with you. My other issue is I don't even really want kids right now for myself, so why would I want to play stepmommy? And also, when the kids are really young, you're probably still trying to figure out your co-parenting situation and your relationship to each other, and I don't want to be involved in all that. That's a lot. And I know some men are going to get on here and say, what about women with kids? Y'all have the right to feel the same way. Also, I ask for what I give. I don't have kids, so I'm not expecting anyone to deal with me being a parent. I make money, I have a career, I take care of myself, I don't have kids, I have a good relationship with my family, I go to therapy, I have solid conflict resolution skills.
And I will say, sometimes it be the baby mama that can't let the man go, but a lot of the times it be the man. It be the man. Like I said, a lot of the times, a lot of these men don't be faithful. And like I said, not all, but a lot of these men, it's hard to find a faithful man that don't have kids. So let alone someone who has access to his baby mama, someone who is, men love their exes. So someone who is always have contact with their baby mama or whatever, someone who can text their baby mama at any time and be like, oh, it's for the kids, it's for the kids. Half the time it be, but half of the time it don't be. You know what I mean?
Absolutely crazy. Literally Delulu, 2-day guy that has a baby mom. Because I'm going to tell you 110% that he is still not over that woman and he is still entertaining her. And you see, there's a difference between having a baby mom and being a mother of a man's children. See, a baby mom means that he is still not over that woman. He's still texting her, stalking her page, all of that mess, still arguing with her on a consistent basis. Now, when you have a mother of a man's children, then that means that they have collectively come together to co-parent. There's nothing more but a platonic relationship. And majority of the time, when a guy has a baby mom, he will talk bad about her because that is his form of actually being able to think of her. He misses what they used to have. So you're going to find yourself in a lot of problems with him keeping her around. He's definitely going to cheat on you, or at least try if he has a baby mom. And I'm going to tell you that majority of the time, when a guy gets out of a relationship and he has a baby mother, he is only trying to look for a rebound to make her look jealous. But when you have a man, he will not have any of these problems because they both collectively are co-parenting. He will take care of his children. He won't argue with her or talk ill will of her. He will not try to stalk her page or, go over her house or any of those things. You will find there's a difference between both of them.
Yeah, like dating a man with kids, most of the time it becomes awkward, especially like I said, around the holidays and stuff like that, because I've heard of situations where the baby mama's there. Now either the baby mama will feel awkward or the new girlfriend will feel awkward. Now, like, yeah, it's situations where everybody just gets along. Someone, let's just say the woman does not have kids, they don't want kids, and it's because some people, like some single women that don't have kids, they like dating a man that does have kids. So there always are exceptions to the rule. I mean, like I said, when a child is young, now when the children are over 18, I think it's definitely acceptable. Say if you was dating somebody that was older and all their children over 18, yeah, that's a different story. But if you dating someone, let's just say 30 or 25, and their children are like 2, 3, men and women be dating, like why they got men be dating women why they got a baby in the oven with somebody else. Like that's why people sometimes they have 2 kids that's like a month apart and stuff like that. So you really gotta stuff that you really gotta be careful for. Like I just feel like it's just setting yourself up to get cheated on. Now, do all men cheat just because they have a child that's young? No, but most of them.
When both partners come into a relationship having children, that's valid. Obviously, there's an exception to every rule, so don't take this literally. Here's the thing you guys need to understand. When you are in a marriage, a woman needs to feel like the queen bee. And if this man does not have established boundaries with his baby mama, he's going to put you and your relationship at risk. It is not your job to fight for a man's attention, love, and time. It is also not your responsibility to play the mother role if you yourself don't have children. Again, this is specifically when the man does not have set boundaries with his baby mama, which happens more often than not. Or else I wouldn't be saying this. Another thing you need to think about is that you probably won't be this man's priority. And if you're looking for marriage, it's best to save the headache. Now, it's a different story when the children are above 18 years old, because the responsibility and the dynamic changes completely. I'm talking about men that have children under the age of 18.
And then a lot of men and women will be very vocal, like, okay, I'm dating you, but my kids come first. And that's super valid. Your kids should come first. Absolutely. But I'm not about to come number 2. So baby, like, I just don't get it why somebody would sign up just to be number 2. That doesn't really make sense. They're not getting any benefit out of that. Not at all. Another reason is if you want to have kids, I've heard my male cousins say this before, and other men, that it's not as exciting because they've already experienced that before. Like they've already been a father before. They already seen their woman going to labor before. So it's not as exciting with you. Like it's already been done, and I want my man to be excited. Like I said, I don't think I want to have kids, but I ain't gonna, like, if I'm in love, I ain't gonna say never. Like say if my man want to have kids, I probably would. The only reason I don't want to have kids is because I seen like the single mothers and single dads. I don't want to create a broken home. That's like really strong for me. Now, if I could just have a kid by myself, and I guess you could, but I ain't gonna lie, I kind of don't want to do that either because I like to travel and stuff like that. But also, I feel like people with kids and people who don't have kids, they live 2 different lives. Let's just say a woman that has kids and a man that does not have kids. Say they got together, right? You're kind of already established. But the man, like when you don't have kids, you really living for yourself. You could really be a bum if you want to. I'm not saying that you should, but I'm saying you could. But if a person that does have kids, you shouldn't be no bum because you living for, like, you have other people that's looking up to you. You have other people that's counting on you. Like when JC said, I don't have kids, I don't have to go as hard. Like that's really serious. A person that does not have kids do not have to go as hard as someone who does have kids. So like I said, if you're a single mom, also, and I told y'all this in my beginning videos, be very careful when you are a woman that does have kids and you're dating a man that does not have kids, because I have seen multiple men say they date women, like a single man will date a woman that does have kids because they know that they're easy. I've heard multiple men say that. So it's like, and even on the men's side, you got to be careful. Like, they know sometimes you guys date fast, and don't feel shamed if you do not want to date a man that has kids. That's like a man, you cannot date a woman of a certain shade as long as you don't shame them or shade them or act like you're better. I feel like, so it's like, I hate when people like, oh, well, you gotta date people with kids. Who? Not me, baby. And for me personally, I find a lot of men that don't have kids. You know what I mean? I think it's really your environment and also your mindset. And also, you might have to go on. I'm not a big fan of dating apps, but you might have to go on the dating apps. But also, don't forget to do a background check on them, because some people be lying. Like, my last guy I was dating, like, seriously or whatever, last guy, whatever, like, this the last guy I kissed for real. And I was dating him or whatever. I knew he had one child, so like I said, this is like maybe like 2021 or whatever. But I wasn't really taking it serious because I knew he had a child or whatever. And he didn't even tell me he had a child, but I used to work with him. Like, I was at a company, you know how like Walmart and Target is affiliated, so it was like that. I was working with a company at a company, and we were like affiliated, and I seen him bring his child to work multiple times, because you can bring like family members and children and stuff to work or whatever. I seen him bring his child to work or whatever. And I'm like, I know he got a child, but he never mentioned that he had a child. But like I said, put two and two together, that has to be his child, because who just bringing some random to work with them all the time, right? And then I just didn't feel right one day. Like, I knew it, and he never mentioned it, but I was always in the back of my mind, like, that's so weird that he will not mention his child. And so one day, some just kept on pulling on me. I always do my background checks anyway, but I guess I just didn't want to do it as fast. So I was like, let me go ahead. Not even a background check, but I live in Maryland, and they had this thing called Maryland Case Search. So you can see like every little lawsuit, every little thing they had to deal with, like a lawsuit or stuff like that, you know, like collections, disputes, stuff like that. So I seen he just had a open case for child support, and I knew he had. I told you, I approached him about the other child, and the other baby mama lived in New York, but this child, it was like a case for somebody that lived in Maryland. And I'm like, and so like the other child, like, he was on his Facebook and stuff like that, and I told you I seen him like bring him to work and stuff like that. And so this other child, no pictures of him on his Facebook. I'm like a detective, so I found that what the child looked like. I found out what the mother looked like. I found out that the mother used to work at the job too, and all of that. So like I'm really detailed. So I had mentioned it. Not, matter of fact, I didn't even mention it because I knew he was gonna lie. So I was like, I just seen that he had an open case. Matter of fact, I did mention it. I let him have one response, and then after that, I just blocked him on everything, because I'm not about to have no conversation with you. You just, if you're going to lie about your child, what will you not lie about?
Know how y'all do it. I am not dating a man that has children. I absolutely will not. Once I find out you have kids, you're immediately unattractive to me. And I'm not kidding. And I'm not exaggerating. Immediately a light switches for me. And I don't know how y'all do it. Like, I don't want to deal with baby mama drama or lack thereof, her overstepping boundaries. This ain't no blended family. I'm not blending nobody family with mine. Like, I said what I said. And it's like, you cannot find a man that don't have kids. You can't. You cannot find a man that doesn't have children. So, I'm going to just be alone. Ooh.
Look, she definitely said the quiet part out loud. And if you don't want to date a man with kids, like I said, you can do it casually if you know you're not going to catch feelings. But it do be hard sometimes to not catch feelings, especially like when y'all having a good time. Like when I just said was a deadbeat, like he was a deadbeat for real. Like no one knew he had this other kid until I found out about it. And that was just crazy. Like, how do you hide a child? Now, I'm thinking it probably was a situation where he told her not to have the child and she had him anyway. And then maybe, hopefully, I'm giving a benefit of the doubt. Hopefully, she ain't tell him till a couple years later. But he knew about that child at least 2 years before when I found out. I mean, the child was older. The child was like 7. So there's not no fresh baby. Like, but yeah, just let him know. Like, I don't date men with kids, or just period. Like, because at the end of the day, you're wasting their time as well. Now, if you want to date somebody with kids, go ahead, go for it. But like I said, it's like, what's the benefit in it? Like, you can't be number one unless you don't care about being number one. Then that is your prerogative. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Let me know what y'all think about in a video or whatever. I love to see your comments. I love to see what y'all gonna say. Also, if you are a lady that does have kids, but you have a limit to the guys, like how many kids that they going like that you would date for a man that has kids. I know a lot of women even say they would rather date a guy that does not have kids. And I always thought that was kind of weird. But if you have 3 kids or 3 baby daddies, what's the limit of baby daddies or baby mamas you would let the man that you're dating have? That's what I want to know. And if you are child free and don't date men with kids, let me know why. Let me know how that's been going for you.